Hi everyone, welcome to the Kevin Campbell Show with me, Kev Campbell, and
Lee Judges. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for all your comments and I hope you've missed us. Can't wait to get started on everything Arsenal. And it's going to be a positive show.
Definitely positive, like,
right?
Definitely.
The 5 things, positive things I think we're going to look at for Arsenal is number 1, which is Arteta, obviously new manager. We've got quite a bit to cover because we've kind of missed the show through all the festivities. Number 2 is the board. The key to that one is, did the board actually get it right? The 3rd is the club. Is the club starting to unite a little bit now that we're starting to see shoots of progress? 4 is the defence. Much maligned defence. And we're going to go into that. And 5, last but not least, is the expectations now. Because now that we're starting to see shoots of progress and we're actually in the January transfer window, let's get a look at some of the expectations that we want and we see and stuff like that. You know, there's been a lot of negativity around the club previously before Mikel Arteta took over. Under Unai Emery, there was arguing, people nearly fighting in the stands. There was a team that the fans and some of the players were at loggerheads. You had even the Mesut Ozil under Freddie Lumber kicking his gloves and all that kind of thing. It just looked like, you know, where are we going to go with all this? But all that seems to have died down right now. So do you think the club are actually, the fan base and the club and the players are all starting to unite a little bit more now, gelling together?
Yeah, I'd like to think so, because I think it's, you know, I hate the word toxic. You know what I mean? I'm toxic Arsenal fans.
I don't think we are toxic.
It's been a very, very frustrating ride, and it's been frustrating, and it's been getting to the stage where myself were thinking, I don't know if I want to go no more, because you're getting arguments in there. I've been arguing with people because I'm passionate about it. Passionate, frustrated. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone will say something to you and you're getting angry, and I feel like, do you know what I mean? I don't really want to, but it's not really me. But like, I'm getting like that.
You're getting involved.
I'm getting involved. You know what I mean? It's not going the way that I want it to. You know, I'd come home and we'd lost, and my dad would go, "What do you keep going for then?" Like, you know, what are you thinking? Is he right? And things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how it was getting.
No, it's painful.
It was getting painful.
I know it's painful.
It was getting painful. People even saying to you, "Well, stop going in. Just do the," you know what I mean? So
as if it's that easy.
If it's that easy, you know, and you know. It got to a stage where I was looking back at videos of, you know, on YouTube of the 90s and seeing all the glory days. That's when it was like, when we spoke about it.
I reminisce all the time.
Trying to ease the pain of what was going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is, you know, even so much to try and say, well, this ain't the same Arsenal no more. Like, but it is. It is.
To us,
it is, you know. So, and I think from that point of view, it's been, you know, as we were talking earlier on, you know, people couldn't sell tickets to games.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, finding it very, very difficult. And all of a sudden, Mikel Arteta's come in, and he's just, whether you know, we can have arguments or whatever, he's just shown us there is light at the end of the tunnel.
There's life. There's life.
There's something to go. There's something, you know, to go. People were talking about relegation, Kevin, and not being.
Hey, but rightly so, Lee. Our form was relegation form.
And people saying like, maybe it'd do us good to get relegated, and you know, all these conversations.
No.
And this is what was going on, and you know, and it's not been right for a few seasons now. You know, through the end of Arsene Wenger's tenure to you know, Emery's. You know, as I said, I wasn't even listening to press conferences and things like that. But what's happened now, and the club has done, there's an energy gone back into it. Like, you know, there's a feel good factor to it. Do you know what? If when we lost to Chelsea, there weren't everybody going mad because we've lost, because you could see positives from that defeat. Yeah. But when you lose to Brighton at home, there's no positives. There's no positives from anything, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and going away from home, continually like losing games, you know, and you know, like our own fans going, oh, like our you know, well, how crappy you are because we're winning away. All things like this is Arsenal Football Club. But we're taking a mickey out of ourselves.
This is how much the levels dropped. You know,
expectations dropped from fans as well.
Well, and that's the difficult thing. You know, when you accept mediocrity.
Yeah.
When you accept mediocrity, then you start having a laugh at yourself. And that isn't Arsenal.
No.
Because Arsenal's an elite club. No matter what anybody says, Arsenal's an elite club and should never be in this position. But the fact of the matter is, we were.
Yeah.
And we know it's not fully turned around yet, that by any stretch of the imagination. But for me, looking at the club, looking at the fan base, going on podcasts, listening to the fans talking, listening to Mikel Arteta, looking at the players all coming together and being there. It seems to me that everybody finally is not as disjointed as they were. Everybody's kind of coming together. I mean, there was even the stuff about, I've got to mention it about, you know, people don't like AFTV. Listen, I know people don't like AFTV. Some don't like it, some like it. But if you don't like it, it's everybody's opinion.
Exactly.
That's everybody's choice. And it kind of came to a head where, you know, the unsavoury things happened at Everton with Robbie and stuff like that. And I just think that, to me, tells me of a fan base that isn't even thinking about the football. They're not thinking about the team. They're thinking about periphery things where it should all be focused on the team.
Yeah.
But the team, for it to be focused on the team have to be performing.
Yeah.
Because once the team perform, this is how much it affects everybody else. Once the team perform, the fans get happier.
Yeah.
The fans get happier, the manager's happy. All the periphery is we are now getting more streamlined.
Yeah.
And hopefully the more we win, it's great to see clean sheets.
Fantastic.
Clean sheets.
I never thought I'd say that.
Especially with this squad.
Nah.
Clean sheets, the team winning, everybody coming together. Aubameyang coming out as club captain and confirming he's committed to it. For how long, we don't know. But the fact of the matter is, he's only got 18 months left. But he's committed to it. So that tells you he didn't have to be coaxed. He didn't have to be rattled by anybody.
No, that's good.
You know, he came out and he said it.
Great point.
So for me, that says to me that everything is moving in the right direction. And who's going to be upset when Arsenal perform? Arsenal could perform and still lose, like Chelsea. But you're disappointed on the result, not on the performance. And I just think this is welcome for me to see things starting to move in the right direction.
Exactly. And we've spoken about this many a times. You know, like when you played, you know, it can ruin. I know whether you think it's right or whether you think it's wrong. When you lost games and it could ruin people's weekends and everybody's weekend. Does. Yeah, you know, I'm not so bad now as I was in your
back
day.
Then,
like back then, I blamed you for many of
Yeah, it does. I know, Lee. I know you keep telling me. You keep telling me.
But we actually speak about that. That's what it does. Now, a lot of fans do not want to blame the club. Yeah. They do not want to blame the team. So they look to blame other things.
On the periphery.
So they blame AFTV, they're earning money and that, but they don't go and blame the burger man who's earning money.
That's
or
right.
the programme seller or the boozers and all that, like, you know. They just look at certain things, and I get that. You know, we get that. So they're always looking at, but the fact of the matter is, I think in your day, players like yourself realised that what it meant to the fans, what it was like. I don't think these players probably realise what it means to, and I don't think it's changed from the years of our Arsenal fans feel.
I don't think it's changed.
No, I don't think it's, you know what I mean, like it still hurts when you lose. But over the course of, you know, me and my mates, when we go away from home, we sit there and go, it hurt when we lost in the Arsene Wenger years. Yes. It hurt when we lost a game. It hurt when in the George Grahams, because we was not used to it.
Yeah.
But now it's every time we go away from home we're losing. All of a sudden you start going, oh well, I'm expecting that, and then the levels drop, and then and frustration comes in, anger comes in. Yes. Comes in. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden now you're going home and we've had it for years, Kev. When you played the game and all that, like, all right, there wasn't the YouTube and it wasn't all the social media stuff, but you'd still get the phone calls from the Spurs
Course
fans
you
giving
will,
you some
course you
stick
will,
when you went
course you
football the
would.
next day or whatever,
Course you
like,
would,
you know,
yeah.
and things like that.
Banter was always there, yeah.
Banter was always there, but sometimes banter can just go over the line.
Yes.
And, you know, going back to the thing at Everton, there was, you know, which people don't really say, there was the singing in the stands, but there was also singing in the stands back in the AFTV. It was all a little bit of banter.
Right.
It spilled over to more than that.
Outside.
Because frustration is still getting to people, you know what I mean? Like, and it is because, you know, it's when now the team's performing and getting better, there is that element where it's easing, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, you know, game yesterday, we've won the game. All right, what we do in Palace when we're meeting, is there's a buzz. There's a different energy.
Yes.
A different energy now. There's a positive energy rather than and when you're getting negative energy, there's always going to be trouble. And you know, I'm going to hold my hands up and say that, you know, I've said things to people in the crowd I shouldn't have said because it's just frustration and that's how it is.
Yeah, look, all Arsenal fans, you know what I'm like. I say all Arsenal fans have an opinion.
Yeah.
And I think all Arsenal fans' opinion is very valid because it's their opinion.
Of course.
You know, so what you think and what I think, because we think differently, doesn't mean that I value your opinion any less. It's just that I think what I think and you think what you think. So it's just great for me to see everybody kind of coming together a little bit, forgetting about, you know, things on the periphery. There's one common goal that we share, and that's Arsenal.
Yeah, and you made a great point earlier on as we was coming up here, like, you know, it doesn't matter, and this is, you're dead right what you said. If Arsenal win the league, they should have won the cup.
Yeah.
If they won the cup, they should have won the champion.
Yeah.
They're never quite. But isn't that every fan? Isn't that every supporter?
Well, we never want to lose.
You know what I mean?
We never want to lose, do we? But we've got used to not being at that level.
No, and it's frustrating.
And it's frustrating, especially when you're used to the teams and the sides that you've witnessed, the success that you've witnessed. You've been there, you've seen it, you've experienced it. When you've had that elation, and then you're starting to see the standards come down, and then people are arguing with you about calling it out, that ain't right.
Yeah.
In your eyes, that's never going to be right, because you know what it takes. Now that Mikel Arteta's in place, with a bit of luck, touch a bit of wood and all that, he can get this show on the road and get it really grinding, and hopefully the board can back him. So we're gonna move on, Lee, and get to number 4, the defence. There's a much maligned, but there's positivity. This is what I love. This is my favourite show.
Yeah,
I've got to tell you. The first one of 2020, the much maligned defence isn't so maligned anymore. What's happening, Lee?
We've got 3 clean sheets since 3 clean sheets. We haven't had them in 3 years. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it started at Everton. You know what I mean? With certain little things put in place there. It wasn't a great performance, but what I liked about that, going back to that Everton game, I know Freddie was in charge, but Mikel Arteta was involved as well. Was that we work on the defence and get that sorted, and then the other things are slot in. Like, you know what I mean? So, and there was the defensive side there to go. Get another clean sheet against Manchester United was fantastic, and now to get one against Leeds, you know, is great. So there's, you know, and the defence is chopping and changing. I have to say the defences look really good with Saka, and Maitland-Niles at foot. Absolutely been brilliant.
Very
a pair
athletic.
of them have been. Now, whether he said to him, Maitland-Niles, look, you're not going to get into my team in midfield, but there is a place for you at right back. You know, all of a sudden everybody was craving for Bellerin to come back in. Now, you know, he didn't even play yesterday, but like, I know he's coming back from injury and whatever, but all of a sudden everybody's going, oh no, Maitland-Niles has got to come back into that team. He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant. And I don't know how, but the defence is...
Lee, do you think, I hold my hands up here, I said these players, from what I saw, were uncoachable.
Yeah,
I said they're uncoachable, because if they can't take on what the manager's trying to do, Steve Bold was there, Freddie Ljungberg's there, Unai Emery was there, they were uncoachable, because we were seeing teams running through the middle of the pitch on us constantly, and we were the worst team in the league without the ball. Mikel Arteta comes in,
Brings him experienced coaching staff with him as well.
brings an experienced coaching staff. Steve Round, got to
Yeah,
mention him as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
You know, a very good coach. And all of a sudden, Socrates, who was hit and miss, David Luiz, who was hit and miss, Kolasinac, who was hit and miss, Maitland-Niles, who was playing at it really.
Yeah.
They look, and Saka, who ain't even a left back, looks solid, strong, aggressive.
Yeah, everything you want.
Everything we've always wanted, you know. So, is it that Mikel Arteta is giving them a different narrative, or what is it? What do you think it could be?
Well, I think he's giving them an option, giving them a chance. You know, I mean, you know, it's either my way or the highway. You know, and David Luiz, you know, we said coming down here, has been absolutely brilliant in the last few games. But that's what you want to see. All of a sudden now, everybody's taking the mickey out of it. Oh, it's a great £8 million we're spending now, you know. And it seems, I think that there is a bit of a structure, as you said before, in front of it.
Yes.
But you know, all of a sudden, Socrates is playing well. Like 2 or 3 games now, consistently done okay. You know, obviously like David Luiz. You know, unfortunately we lost Callum Chambers again for another injury.
Sad, which is sad. Very
you know
sad.
I mean? Like, to get 3 of those players to have cruciate ligaments in the back. You know, it's unbelievable.
It's hard.
So it's hard for to go on from that, you know. But we've you know, and so young as well. But the guys that have come in have, you know, I think at the end of the day, I'm going to say, I've got to say about David Luiz. I've slagged him off left, right, and centre. Like he's just said, right, he's come in, and he's turned up. You know, he's been a leader. He's getting stuck in. He's doing nothing stupid, and he's, you know, whether he's playing for his Arsenal career or not, which, you know, he's lucky to be at Arsenal, if I'll be honest. He's had a good career, but at that age he's lucky. You know, so try and keep it for as long as you possibly can. But people were criticising Kolasinac, giving him a lot of stick. Yeah. I think he's been brilliant since he's come.
Especially against United. He was a powerhouse down that left. He was unbelievable.
And he come back from an injury as well, so can only get better. You know, listen, I'm not saying we're going to, like, you know, go on whatever and keep more clean sheets, but at this moment in time, it's good to see. And you know, whenever we get a clean sheet, I'm going to be very, very happy with it. Like, you know,
the defence for me, the big test is Crystal Palace coming up.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big test for me because of the weapons that Crystal Palace have. They have a lot of pace. They drew 2 each at our place when really VAR done us out of a win.
Yeah, we owe them one, don't we?
Yeah, we owe them, and we tend to do better at their place, but they're going to test us. Yeah, they're going to give us a good test. I'm intrigued to see what Arsenal turn up. And,
it'd be interesting.
And can this defence, if we could keep a clean sheet, I'll be very impressed.
Exactly. And the other good thing is there's not pot shots coming off us all of a sudden, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so that's a good thing. And if we can, you know, as you say, if we can keep clean sheets or, you know, knock teams down to 1, we have got the firepower to get 2s and 3s. So what's going to happen? We're going to win more games.
We start moving up that league.
And moving up the ladder where we should be, like, you know. I'm not saying that we can get into the top 4. It's not impossible. It's not impossible at this moment in time. I'm not saying that we're going to, but there's still a chance that we can.
Hey, you're moving into expectations, which is next.
We'll go back.
So let's go into expectations, Lee. Okay, number 5, the expectations. From this point moving forward, we're in the transfer window. Mikel Arteta's our new manager. What's the expectations for you, and what's the general feel amongst the Gooners?
Well, expectation for me is to start winning games of football and pushing themselves up the league, and going for the top 4. Why not? Why not go for it? You know what I mean? I think that the board in January have got to show their ambitions as well and try and get in a couple of. We need someone to come in at central defence now.
Without
anyway,
shadow of a doubt.
We've lost Chambers as well, so I think that we need to sort that out. There's still a chance that we can get it from top 4. There's a very, very good chance that we can still do it through the Europa League, which gets us a trophy. And I want us to be going into games with the chance of winning games. Where I've been going into games previously before Christmas and that, thinking, I hope we don't lose. Now I want to go into, as an Arsenal fan, which is, I think, my right as an Arsenal fan, to be going into games thinking that we're going to win.
That's right.
You know,
that's the change of mindset.
That's the change of mindset that I want.
Expectations for me is for Mikel Arteta to get the team functioning even better, to bring a few additions in. Do you know, one thing, that we get linked to certain players, don't we? You know, Boateng and Ziyech and all these different players. I don't think we're in the position to beggars to be choosers. I think we've got to trust Mikel Arteta. If he's going to bring somebody in, we've got to trust the person he brings in is going to be of a benefit to Arsenal Football Club. That's what we've got to do, because this is his first transfer window.
Yeah.
So whoever he chooses, he's going to know that they can do a job in that team. So whoever he brings in, I'm not sure who he's going to bring in, but we do need bodies because we've got quite a few injuries.
Yeah.
So that's the expectation on that one. Expectation for the league has to be top four. We've still got half a season to go. We play all the teams above us.
Yeah.
So if we're playing all the teams above us and we could take the points off them, which is wishful thinking, but this is me being positive now. We've got to think to ourselves, we can beat the teams above us and we can get in that top four. And I want to win the Europa League.
Yeah, and the FA Cup.
And the FA Cup. We've got to be looking at that. Will we? I don't know. But can we? Of course we can.
Yeah,
and that's the positivity that I want to take forward, because it's great to see positivity and that energy in the football club again.
And if we can win something this season, you know what I mean? If you know, like, if I prefer, if God comes down there and says, like, what you want to win, obviously it's going to be the Europa League, because it gives you that Champions League thing, like, you know what I mean? But I think if we can win a trophy, it can get us believing again, and I think that is important. I think for me, Arteta showed that yesterday in his team selection.
Yes.
That it was, you know, stronger than what we spoke before. That we,
yes.
And we said it's stronger than what we thought it was going to be. So that shows a lot of positivity. I think that if we can just go on in that competition, who knows? I think there's some tough teams in there, by the way. I don't think that's going to be a gimme. Like, you know.
Listen, there's some good games, but you know, you got Bournemouth away next, and Bournemouth are a decent side, but they ain't somebody that scares me. I've got to think Arsenal we can go there and win.
Yeah.
You know, so then you're moving on.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the time you're going to meet some of the big boys sometime.
Of course you
but
are.
I'd rather meet them where all the chips are in the middle of the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where there's all to play for.
Yeah. And you know, come 5th, 6th round, you know where you're going to be a little bit more.
Because you know something, Lee, as I reckon under Arteta, we're only going to get better. And nobody's going to want to play a resurgent Arsenal.
No, that's
for sure. Nobody's going to want to play, because everybody banks on the disunity. Teams will come to the Emirates and bank up and frustrate the crowd and get the crowd on the players' backs, and then the players start misplacing passes. That's what an away team does.
Yeah.
When I wasn't at Arsenal, that's what we done. We said we got to frustrate the crowd.
Yeah.
We frustrate the crowd, it gets to the players. But when the crowd are up, it's really hard place to go.
Yeah, of course it is, and it's been shown with even yesterday. Once we showed a bit of form. Look at the atmosphere in the ground. Then, like, you know, when is it? I've got to ask you a question. When, as a player, what sort of round did you think, like, we're going to start? We might win this FA Cup or be.
Yeah, it's weird, because once we start getting to 5th and 6th round, and you know the teams start to whittle down, and then you're looking, okay, we get through one more, and then we're in the quarters. You know, that taste in your mouth. You know, that taste starts coming, because everybody. You will talk about one game at a time, but you always know, as a kid, that FA Cup game, FA Cup final is it.
Yeah.
You know, as a club competition, cup competition. So we get to a 5th, 6th round and you win, and then you start going into the quarter final, and who you got, and you know, you go in and you know you win that one, and then you're like, you know, semi. It's like incredible.
As an away fan, as a fan, like, we always like the away games like, you know, because you get more a crowd and all that like that. As a player, was you looking for the home side?
No, for us, when you're Arsenal, it doesn't really matter where you play because you're expected to win every game. Home ties, that's all you really can hope for is a home tie on your own patch to get the opposition
when
to
you
you.
Cup run, you're saying, oh, we want a home tie.
No, it's not that we want one. You know, you have an advantage having a home tie. Of course we do. We're at Highbury at the time. We have an advantage being at home. Our own fans, they stick to the regular routine. But then we get drawn away. We played Ipswich.
Yeah.
Get drawn at Ipswich away, and you know the tickets it goes crazy. People wanting tickets and everything. All the Gooners are down. Big Mitch and everybody were down there, and I was like, this is a cup tie because you know you're at a cup tie. And all Arsenal, a big Arsenal section, and you go and beat them, and then you're thinking, here we go. We can have we need to get to the final. And this is just winning the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
So you need to get to the final. You're one kind of game away and all that kind of thing. So it starts getting serious around 5th, 6th round.
Brilliant.
So look, Lee, great to speak to you. Great to have you. Great to see you and get on the show in 2020, everyone. We thank you for all the comments. Please leave your comments down below. We thank you for everything. Yeah. So it's goodbye from me.
Yeah, it's goodbye from me. Positive as well.
Positive Arsenal.
It's been probably the most positive one we've done. Do you think?
It's my favourite so far.
Yeah, it's our favourite so far.
So we'll see you in a fortnight's time, and we can't wait for the next one.